Hello friends, welcome to video practical series of soft computing using Scilab. In a series of tutorials, we will discuss the use of a Scilab for soft computing specifically. So here total 11 experiments are designed for the soft computing practicals. The first experiment is on to generate a few activation functions that are being used in a neural network. So first we will discuss here our first experiment. Here we are to generate activation functions. What is activation function? Activation functions are really important for a neural network to learn and make a sense of something really complicated and non-linear. Complex function mapping between input and output response variable. The main purpose is to convert input signal of a node in a neural network to an output signal. The output signal now is used as an input in the next layer in the stack. So here the three different activation functions are present: the linear, threshold activation function and a sigmoidal activation function. The further sigmoidal activation functions are again categorized into two, that binary sigmoidal activation function and a bipolar sigmoidal activation functions. So here if you see a figure, these x1 to xm, these are the neurons are present, input neurons are present. So w0 to wm, these are the weights, their corresponding weights are present. So then the first calculate the summation, that is the multiplication in between this x1 and w0, that is the xi wy summation. Weighted multiplication is present at this summation, that is a net input for a y neuron. At this round, we have to apply some activation functions which gives a one output neuron, which activates that output neuron to generate something, and that output is in terms of this activation functions. For example, here the first activation function is a unit step. In that unit step, g is nothing but the activation function which operates on the input value, that z is the input value, and it generates the two values, that 1 and -1, positive 1 and negative 1. Positive 1 which is the upside, negative it is a downside. 1 if z is greater than or equal to 0, that is input values are greater than or equal to 0, and the minus otherwise or elsewhere. The next is that activation function which is also called as a threshold activation function, that 0 is nothing but a threshold value in both the case, that unit step and this function. So that it is having the two values 1 and 0. If it is greater than 0, then it is a 1, and else it is 0. Linear activation function which does not change, that is in output is remain as it is, or it is the same as the input, g of z is equal to z. Then a logistic activation function, or it is a type of a sigmoidal activation function. It is in terms of way that the sign values are present, sigmoid values are present. So which is a 1 divided by 1 plus exponential values of this negative input values. The first we have to apply in negative values. If input is positive, then we have to take the negative sign and then calculate the exponential, then 1 plus and divide it, find its a reciprocal, and that is nothing but the logistic sigmoidal function, which is also called as a binary. And hyperbolic tangent, which is a bipolar sigmoidal functions, that it is having the, if you multiply this logistic function 2 into this logistic function -1, so then what is the calculated result is nothing but a hyperbolic tangent function. So all these are the some basic. Again, many more activation functions are available in a neural network, but here we are to implement or write a code for this activation functions. So here we will move to that, the activation functions. So here we have to use a Scilab for this activation functions, or for all the practicals of a soft computing. So this is a Scilab environment. The first is the file browser, console window, variable browser, command history. Okay, all these are present in this Scilab. So you see here a cursor is present in a console. Okay, console is the main window is present, and sometimes it is also called as a command window because we are writing here the commands in a command window. If you type a 3 plus 2, that if 5 is present, that answer is 5 in a variable browser. If you type 9 plus 8, then it is a 70. Again answer is present, that which holds the value of that, the last calculation. So here, what are the calculations we have performed in a console, that all are present in an answer variable, and that it gives the value of that, the calculated result, that's 17. So simple mathematical operations we can perform here, like a sqrt function, sqrt of that 8 or 9. So then you can get that the square root of that. Such a simple calculations, mathematical calculations we can perform here easily by using this console. Again we can find the roots of a quadratic equation and all that. So next we have to write a first program for the activation functions. So this is a how to open this Synode. So first file is present, file menu, below that a launch Synode is present. So if you click on this, so then that the editor will open. This is a Synode. So the next, our first experiment is on activation function. Activation function. So we can type a comment by using a 2 forward slash. Okay, in a editor. So this is the first x variable is present. Here variable declaration also not required in a Scilab. We can use a directly variable. X variable is equal to minus 10, 2 plus 10, and that increment value is by the 0.1. This is just like a for loop. So this colon is called as a linear spacing in a Scilab. So how it is going to implement? So if you type, copy this command, and if you want to execute in a console, so then type this command in a console and press enter. So then it gives that values. Total how many values are present? That 201. Okay, this is a one row vector is generated or array is generated, which is having the value, which is having the size, it is a 201. So what is that linear spacing? The first is a minus 10. The first value is minus 10. 0.1 is the increment value is present. Minus 10 plus 0.1, it is minus 9.9. Minus 9.9 plus 0.1, it is minus 9.8. So in that way all values are incremented, and what is the last value? That 10. 10 is the last value is present. Up to that 10 we can increment that values. The next the next line of that program, it is a, for the sigmoidal function we require the exponential values. So calculate the exponential in some temporary variable. Exponential of that the negative values of the input that is present in the mathematical formula of the sigmoidal functions. So then use some output variables, for example y1, y2, y3. So y1 is for the binary sigmoidal function, y2 this is a mathematical expression for this bipolar sigmoidal function, and y3 is for the identity function. So these calculations we have to perform here, because that input variable x, temporary variable, and these variables. Then next subplot, we have to plot. Here some figures are generated for all these activation functions. Subplot 1, 4, 1. Why 1, 4, 1? 1 is nothing but the number of rows, 4 is the number of columns, and last one is nothing but the plot positions. 1 row, 4 column, and the first plot position. So subplot 1 row, 4 column, and the first plot position. On that we have to plot a hyperbolic function, sigmoidal function. The next line is that x grid is present, x grid. So I have to plot a grid lines on that a graph. And here we can use different colors, and that value is always an integer value is present. That's 7. 1 to 7, any integer value we can use. The plot x versus y1. X is the input is present and y1 is the output value is present for this hyperbolic function. So give the title after this plot, title in a double quotation, that the body of the string we have to type here, type in a double quotation, close the double quotation and round bracket close. Okay, this is a subplot function. Okay, subplot, plot, and title. So this sequence must be the same for the next activation functions. Subplot, xgrid, plot, title. Here only the plot number is changed. On a second plot we have to plot this bipolar activation function, and the value in a y2 we have stored that values. Okay, then next On a third plot, we have to plot a y3 that which holds the identity function values, that a identity value, give the title to that. The next is a threshold activation function. So but here slight change is there for the input values. I used here x variable -10 to +10, their increment value is by 1. We can use also the same variable. Then for I is equal to 1 to 21, because -10 to 10 total 21 values are present, so that indexing I have to compare with the threshold value, it is theta, that is 0. If this value is less than 0, so then value is 0, and if it is greater than 0, then it is 1. So like that activation function works. And this y, now here this y is the last output variable is present for the threshold activation function. If you want to display this by values for this input values, then I used here a display command, disp command for that y variable. If again I want to display the x variable values for this threshold activation function, then I can use a disp and the name of that variable or that array. So x grid also here, and plot x versus y and give the title to this graph. It is a threshold activation function, that is 4th. Now save this program. So it is already saved, that's why it is not present. Save with that SC extension. Anywhere you can save this file. You create your own folder and save that the program, and then execute this program by clicking on this icon. So then you will get these 4 outputs, 4 activation functions. The first is a hyperbolic function, which is a binary. Why binary? Because output is present in terms of 0 and 1, 0 to 1. Bipolar, that logistic function, -1 to +1 output is present, and this shape is like a sigma. That's why it is called as a sigmoidal activation functions. And this is a linear activation function. It is having the values, input is having on x-axis -10 to 10, output is also having a -10 to 10. No difference is present in the input and output values. The next is a threshold activation function. In that the input is -10 to 10, but output is having only the 2 values, one is 0 and other is 1. No intermediate values are present. If you observe clearly here, from 0 to that the -10 to 0, that values are 0, and for 0 above the next value is 1, immediate after that 0 it is 1. For that 1 to +10, that value is 1. Okay, so like that the activation functions, all these 3 activation functions we can implement by using a Scilab. Thank you.